This story comes from someone named Ethan. When Ethan was 9 years old, his parents worked late every Friday. Because of that, he spent about 2 hours after school completely home alone. To him, it wasn't a big deal at first. He had done it many times before, and nothing bad had ever happened. Their house was a small 2-story home in a quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind of place where nothing ever seemed to happen. Ethan's bedroom was downstairs near the living room. His parents' bedroom and a spare bedroom were upstairs. His parents had one strict rule. Ethan was not allowed to go upstairs while he was alone, mostly because the stairs were old, narrow, and extremely loud. That afternoon felt normal in every way. Ethan walked inside, dropped his backpack next to the couch, grabbed a snack from the kitchen, and turned on the TV. Cartoons played in the background while he sat on the floor, relaxed and distracted. The house felt safe, familiar. About 20 minutes later, he heard something, a soft thump. At first, he ignored it. Houses make noise all the time. Pipes shift, wood settles. That's what adults always say. Ethan told himself it was nothing. Then it happened again. This time, the sound was heavier, more solid. It didn't sound random. It sounded like a footstep. The noise came from directly above him, from the second floor. Ethan slowly muted the TV and sat completely still. Without the cartoon noise, the house suddenly felt way too quiet. The silence felt thick, like it was pressing in on him. A few seconds passed. Then there was another step. Slow, careful, like whoever was upstairs didn't want to be heard. His first thought was that his parents had come home early. That idea brought instant relief, but it disappeared just as fast. He hadn't heard the garage door open. He hadn't heard the front door either. The footsteps continued, one step, then another, moving slowly across the floor upstairs. Ethan stood up and called out, "Mom!" No answer. He waited, hoping to hear a familiar voice. Instead, there was only silence. He called again, louder this time. Still nothing. That was when fear finally set in. His heart started pounding, and his mouth went dry. He grabbed his phone with shaking hands and checked the time. His parents wouldn't be home for at least another hour. The footsteps suddenly stopped. For a brief moment, Ethan tried to convince himself it really was just the house making noise. He unmuted the TV, hoping the sound would calm him down. That's when he heard the stairs. One step creaked, then another. Slowly, deliberately, someone was coming down from the second floor. Ethan froze. He stared at the hallway leading toward the stairs, his body refusing to move. Each step sounded louder than the last, echoing through the quiet house. He snapped out of it and ran to the front door. His hands were shaking so badly that when he grabbed the handle, his phone slipped from his fingers and hit the floor. As he bent down to pick it up, he heard a voice. Not loud, not angry, just calm. "Hey, it's okay." The voice came from inside the house. Ethan didn't stop to think. He screamed, yanked the front door open, and ran straight outside. He sprinted across the yard and to his neighbor's house, without shoes, without looking back, pounding on the door until they opened it. Later that evening, the police arrived and searched Ethan's house from top to bottom. Nothing appeared to be missing, no signs of a struggle, no obvious explanation. But when Ethan's dad checked the spare bedroom upstairs, he noticed something that made his stomach drop. The window was open. It had been locked that morning.
This next story comes from a woman named Rachel. Rachel was 8 years old when this happened, and it was during summer break. School was out, the days felt longer, and the house always felt quieter than usual. Her mom worked early mornings, and her dad worked night shifts. Because of that, Rachel spent about 2 hours every afternoon completely home alone. Her parents told her she was old enough to handle it. The house was small, after all. Only 1 floor, no basement, no upstairs, just a straight layout with every room connected by 1 long hallway. From the living room, you could see all the way down to the back door. There was nowhere someone could hide without being seen. Rachel usually stayed in the living room. She felt safer there. Most days she watched TV or played games on the family computer. She sat on the carpet, close to the couch, with the volume just loud enough to fill the silence. That afternoon started like any other. The sun was still out, the curtains were half open, the TV was playing a cartoon she had seen 100 times before. Rachel felt bored but comfortable. Then she heard something that didn't belong. A knock. 3 slow knocks on the front door. Rachel froze instantly. Her whole body went stiff. Her parents had drilled one rule into her head more than any other. Never open the door for anyone when you're home alone, no matter who they say they are. She stayed completely still. She didn't even turn her head toward the door. For a moment, she wondered if maybe she imagined it. Then came another knock. This one was louder. Then a voice. "Rachel?" Her stomach dropped. The voice didn't sound angry. It didn't sound rushed. It sounded calm, friendly, almost casual. That somehow made it worse. Rachel slowly turned toward the door, her heart pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. "I know you're home," the man said. "Your mom asked me to check on you." Rachel stood up from the carpet and took a small step backward. Her hands felt cold. Her mouth was dry. "How do you know my name?" she asked. Her voice came out quieter than she wanted. It shook at the end. There was a pause on the other side of the door. Then the man laughed softly. Not loud, not aggressive, just a short laugh, like he found the question amusing. "I live nearby. I see you playing outside all the time." Rachel's chest felt tight. She suddenly remembered every time she had played in the yard, every time she rode her bike, every time she thought no one was paying attention. She didn't say anything else. She turned and ran down the hallway toward her parents' bedroom. Her feet slapped against the floor as she pushed the door shut behind her and locked it. Her hands were shaking so badly she had to try twice to turn the lock. She grabbed the house phone and called her mom. No answer. She tried again. Still nothing. Rachel sat on the edge of the bed, holding the phone tightly, listening. The TV was still on in the living room, but it sounded distant now, like it was coming from another house. The knocking at the front door stopped. For a moment, Rachel felt a small wave of relief. Maybe he had left. Maybe it was over. She tried to slow her breathing. Then she heard something else. Footsteps. Not outside. Inside. Inside the house. The sound came from the hallway. Slow footsteps, careful footsteps, moving toward the bedroom. Rachel stood up, backing away until she was pressed against the wall. Her heart felt like it was trying to jump out of her chest. Then the man spoke again. This time, his voice was closer. "Rachel?"
"Don't be scared." That was when she screamed. She screamed as loud as she could into the phone, crying and begging for her mom to come home. Her voice echoed down the hallway, filling the house. Her mom answered just in time to hear it. Rachel stayed on the line, sobbing, while her mom told her to stay locked in the room and called the police. Officers arrived within minutes. They searched the house carefully, every room, every corner. No one was inside, but when they checked the back of the house, they found the back door unlocked. No one in Rachel's family had unlocked it. To this day, Rachel still doesn't know how long that man had been watching her, or how long he had known her name.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun.
This final story comes from a guy named Lucas. Lucas was 10 years old when this happened, and he was deeply afraid of being home alone. It wasn't the kind of fear you grow out of quickly. It stayed with him every single time his parents weren't around. Unfortunately, his parents didn't have a choice. Because of their work schedules, Lucas spent about an hour after school completely by himself almost every weekday. Their house was old. It had been built sometime in the 1970s. The hallways were narrow, the walls were thin, and the floors creaked even when no one was walking on them. The house made sounds constantly, soft pops, dull thumps, quiet shifting noises that never had a clear explanation. During the day, the house felt uncomfortable. When Lucas was alone, it felt much worse. Every afternoon followed the same routine. Lucas unlocked the front door, stepped inside, and locked it again behind him. He checked the windows without really knowing why. Then he went straight to his bedroom. His bedroom was at the end of the hallway. He always closed the door, not all the way at first, just enough to make the room feel separate from the rest of the house. He put on his headphones and turned the volume up, trying to block out every sound. Music helped. It filled the silence and kept his thoughts busy. That afternoon, Lucas sat on his bed, scrolling through his phone, leaning slightly forward. He stayed near the middle of the mattress. He avoided the edges. Sitting near the edge always made him feel exposed, like something could happen behind him. Time passed slowly. Then, without warning, he felt the mattress move. Just a little. A soft dip behind him. It felt exactly like someone sitting down on the edge of the bed. Lucas froze. His fingers stopped moving. His breathing became shallow. He stared at the wall in front of him, afraid to turn his head. For a few seconds, he told himself it was nothing. The mattress was old. He might have shifted his weight. That had to be it. Slowly, carefully, he lifted one hand and pulled a headphone off his ear. The music stopped. The room was silent. No footsteps, no voices, nothing. Lucas waited. Then it happened again. The mattress dipped a second time. This time, the pressure felt heavier, more deliberate, like real weight pressing down right behind him. Lucas whispered, "Dad." His voice came out weak, almost too quiet to hear. No response. The silence stretched on. Every second felt longer than the last. Lucas felt his heart pounding so hard it hurt. He could feel it in his chest, in his throat, in his ears. He didn't dare move. Then he felt something else. A breath. Warm air brushed against the side of his ear. It was close, too close. That was when Lucas lost control. He screamed and jumped off the bed, running toward the door without looking back. His feet slipped on the floor as he sprinted down the hallway. He slammed the bathroom door shut and locked it, his hands shaking so badly he almost dropped the lock. Lucas slid against the door and sat on the floor, hugging his knees. He stayed there, crying quietly, listening for any sound outside the bathroom. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. Eventually, he heard the front door open. He heard his parents' voices. Only then did he unlock the bathroom door and run out. Lucas told them everything, every detail. His parents searched the house carefully. They checked every room, every closet, under the beds, behind the doors. They looked for open windows, unlocked doors, anything that didn't belong. They found nothing. No signs of anyone else being there. They told Lucas it was probably his imagination, that fear can make things feel real, that old houses move and shift. But Lucas knew what he felt. That night, he refused to sleep in his bedroom. He slept on the couch with the lights on. Even then, he barely slept at all. Years later, Lucas still remembers that moment clearly. The weight, the breath, the silence. To this day, no matter where he lives, Lucas cannot sleep unless his bedroom door is locked, because he never forgot how real it felt when someone sat on his bed.